I am joined by Nick this morning, who's taken some time out to join us. So first of all, thank you very much for that, Nick.
You're welcome.
And yeah, well, basically, I'll just hand straight over to you. If you'd like to tell us a bit about your business, the services you offer, and how long you have been in business for.
Right, so I started a business called Technologies Cornwall, putting a Cornwall there to localise where it was, obviously.
Yeah.
It's basically, I started up during pandemic because I'd done a lot of research and had a lot of complaints and noticed that Cornwall is kind of a black hole for technology. We don't get much funding down here for it, and with newer generations growing up in Cornwall, we need to sort of spread our wings, so to say. So yeah, this is why I started Atom Technologies. What we do is repair computers, install domestic networks, business networks, build custom computers, supply office equipment, bits and bobs, general. And we're heading in the direction of creating a whole company to try and become Cornwall's main supplier of computer essentials, basically. My experience, I've been in the business for a while, probably about 10, 11 years. Then I took a break, and then during the pandemic, I thought, hey, great idea, I'll go back to it. Makes more sense. I've done quite a bit with the community at the moment, like trying to sort out the local internet problem that we have in the village.
Okay.
I also collect old laptops, donate them to the local schools. What else really can I say?
Your 11 years sort of working in the sector, was that previously as an employee for other companies, or did you run a business then too?
No, it was a family business at the time. I'd worked with my brother-in-law, who owned a computer company up in Dorset, which really got me interested in the computer side of things. And since then, I've gone to work for like Currys and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Done courses and whatnot, and all the boring stuff.
Ticked all the boxes.
Yes, ticked all the boxes.
Yeah. Fantastic. And then in terms of the business which you run now, so are your customers predominantly in Cornwall? Are you nationwide? Yeah. And then do you sort of, you one-to-one, or do you sort of deal with B2B?
It's kind of both, really. I have a lot of older customers who have computers like 10 years old, and I just spruce them up a bit so they can keep up with what's going on. I have quite a lot of Airbnbs, because one of their main selling points is having Wi-Fi for their customers.
Sure.
And being that we live in Cornwall, the internet's not the best down here.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my main areas at the moment.
Yeah. A friend of mine has an Airbnb property actually, and she forgot to pay her phone bill last month. So she had guests staying, and her complaints were through the roof because they couldn't access the internet. So,
yeah, it does happen. It is like one of the major selling points.
Yeah.
So especially if you have like Airbnbs on the coast and like Perranufno or Relubus, where there's no signal whatsoever.
Sure.
So yeah.
And then talking about the pandemic, so you say you started up during the pandemic.
Yes.
How do you think that was sort of an opening in the market for you to?
It was a major turner for me, because there was a huge thing that everyone needed computers, mainly for schools, education, doing online work, stuff like that. It just opened it all up, and it's continued to climb. So yeah, the pandemic really hasn't stopped me in any way. Obviously, during the pandemic, I've had to like keep my distance and the usual rules.
Yeah.
So
of
yeah.
course. And I guess there were a lot more people who were working from home and homebound. So I guess they almost needed to access internet and connections with a lot more speed than before, perhaps.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then are you working from home? Is this where you are now, or is it in?
I am currently working from home.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for a premises at the moment, but it's quite difficult to find somewhere which has everything I need.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And is it just yourself, Nick, or do you have a team working alongside you?
It's just myself at the moment.
Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. And then are you looking, do you think you've got potential to expand the business and sort of take on some more staff at all, or?
Yes, definitely have potential. There's a lot of potential there to expand. I've had a few eyebrow lifters from people when I talk about what I'm working towards doing, and a lot of what's the word? People have expressed a lot of interest in what I'm trying to create, and could be potential investors as well.
Oh, so. Fantastic. Yeah. I think with technology in Cornwall, like you say, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. So yeah, to get investment in that sector.
Looking at the market at the moment, there's a lot of software development companies down here, but I'm more on the engineering practical side. So yes, there's quite a big hole or gap in the market down here for that.
Yeah, works hand in hand with those other companies, but obviously the stuff we don't see is obviously what you take care of. And then following the pandemic, were there any sort of main actions which you had to take, or any main, I guess, learning experiences where you had to learn on the job, or sort of go from there?
I can't really say it's been the same, apart from you don't have to wear a mask anymore, which is great, which makes customer service a lot more easier and more pleasant. So but there's not really much that's changed for me at the moment. It's just building that client list.
Yeah. With your customer service you just briefly touched on, do you does that involve sort of a lot of face-to-face meetings? Are you going to people's homes at all, or meetings?
Yes. I go to a lot of homes. I do popping out, collecting laptops, or even sometimes going into homes and fixing laptops in the homes and their network issues and stuff like that. So and we have good aftercare as well.
Nice. Yeah. I guess with fixing laptops, people, I mean, is there a time frame with that? If somebody was fixing my laptop, I'd be like, I need it back like today.
It really comes down to what the problem is. Sometimes it's not always a simple fix. So it may be a couple of days. Really, all I can do in that case is maybe offer or lend a tablet or a laptop out. So that's all you can do, really.
I guess then, talking about your business journey, what have been your biggest learnings to date? What have you, I guess, enjoyed the most or learnt the most from being a business owner so far?
The best thing about my business journey is meeting new customers. I've made some real connections as well, which have passed on jobs. A lot of my work is passed on through word of mouth. Anyway.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
But I have found it a little bit tricky about learning about the business side of things myself. I'm getting there, but it's quite a lot of work as well. And you really have to stick and commit to it to keep it going.
Yeah. Do you rely a lot on marketing as well, or is most of your sales through referrals?
A lot of my sales are through referrals. I think if I can get time to do some marketing, it does What's the word I'm looking for? It does improve my sales
Sure.
and my reputation. One of the biggest issues though is getting your customers to trust you.
Yeah.
I work ever so hard with the customers I get to show that I'm reliable, because there are a lot of people out there who, I've heard a few stories that damage reputations of the industry. So that is a bit of a brick wall.
Yeah, definitely. You almost want to be getting some sort of quotes and then written referrals from those clients that you can then use, which would be useful.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And then do you have any advice for anybody that you was thinking about starting up their own business?
If you're going to start a business, then you need to put 100% commitment in it. You need to have a goal and you need to be driven by that goal. Because once you start falling back on it, then it's lost.
Yeah, good. Very assertive, which I like. Yeah, some people are like, oh, just take the time and you must be prepared to put the hours in. But I think, as you say, if you have a particular goal and an end plan in mind, that's what you need to keep aiming for.
Yes, definitely.
Have you reached your goal yet?
Nowhere near.
No. Still
When you
working
see my face in the news and stuff like that, then I've reached my goal.
Fantastic. I'll remember this day.
Yes.
And then, so that's words of wisdom. Do you have any advice that you would give for people going into business?
Think before you take that step, because there's a lot of involvement in it. There's not really much else I can say about that.
No, that's okay. That's fine. And then finally, I guess back to your current situation. We just sort of discussed your end goal, but where do you see the business in 5 years' time?
Hopefully having a unit somewhere in mid Cornwall, so it's accessible to pretty much all of Cornwall, and hopefully have my own team of engineers on board. So yeah.
Fantastic. A team of people that you would send out to the jobs on a daily basis.
Yes, and a crew.
Yeah, a crew. There you go. That's nice. Yeah. Fantastic.